on, choir, help me. I'm standing on his promise. I'm leaning on his word. I'm trusting in him, in his righteousness, believing every word he told me. If he said it, he's gonna do it. It shall come to pass. Come on, Trinity. I'm standing on his promises, and I'm leaning on the word, trusting, yeah, believing every word he said. If he said it, he will do it, and it shall come to pass. To pass. I decree and I declare that all your troubles will soon be over. It shall come to pass. All your desires that the Lord will give to you, it's gonna come to pass. You gotta believe in the word of God and know that he can do it for you. Bible declares in Isaiah chapter 55 verse 11, so shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish what I please, and it shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it. Come on, Pia, help me say, yeah, it shall come. Your time is now. Your season is now. Don't you worry. Lift up your head. Engage. And the King of Glory, he's showing up, gonna come in. Yo, if he said it, he will do it. Believe in God's word. It will return to your void. Don't give up now. Don't give up now. He's going to hold you up. He's gonna give you what you need. If he said it, he will do it. Fight for your life. God is right there. Victory is yours. Celebrate the King. Your season's right now. Your season's right now. And all that shall come. Yeah. Come on, clap those hands. Everybody clap those hands. Come on. You gotta act like you know he's gonna do it right now. I need to see the praises everywhere. Act like you know it's gonna happen. Praise him like it's already done. Because he shall do it. He will do it. It shall come to pass. If he said it, he's gonna do it. God is not a man that he would lie. If he's spoken over your life, it's gotta manifest to you. Just walk in the faith and knowing that he's gonna do it, and it shall come to pass. Hallelujah.
No struggle streaming today. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. We got a good show for you. Hope everybody's doing okay on this wonderful, wonderful Monday following Love Day. So some of you got some real love over the weekend. Hopefully you made your way down to the altar to ask for forgiveness because woo, I already know so wild things happen. But I'm not here to judge. Who are me to judge? Who are me to judge? I had a wonderful weekend. It was great. It was great. I had some steak over the weekend for the first time ever. Well, probably second time, but first time really. I tried my steak rare, medium rare. I know some of you, I've already said I like medium, but I tried to be, a little different this time and I tried it with rare. And it was interesting. It was interesting. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. People say, "Oh, it's gross, it's gross." It was actually pretty good. So medium rare was what I tried. It was good. My wife said I may not want to do it on every chunk of meat. Pause. Oh, Jesus, that was a super pause, man. I might need to, yeah, I might need to do so. I don't even have a pause one up, but anyway, yeah, that was pause. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. And I saw something that was posted and it said, hopefully your Valentine's Day didn't go like this. Yeah, dude, that looked like he had a hard time. And the crazy thing, when I see stuff like this, and I'm like, when you're fussing at a man or a woman, but let's talk about the men today because I happen to be one. When you fussing at this dude, when we get in this stance right here, ladies, this means something bad is going to happen if you continue. And I always wondered, when you see this happening, why do you continue to go? Why do you continue to go there when you see this face? This face looks like it's about to be an eruption and not in a good way. You feel me? So, like, think about it like this. And this goes for men too, because women do have a threshold, fellas. But if you see them get in this posture, think of it as like a car that's overheating. You might want to take your foot off the gas, pull off on the side of the road, let the car cool down, and then maybe get it repaired. Then start to, do this. When that car is overheating, it's usually going to be bad when it gets to that boiling point. Like you're going to blow a radiator or a head gasket. Something bad is going to happen. So if you see this person, he said, it's not to pray. It's absolutely not to pray, Brent. It's not to pray. It's absolutely the other way around. When you see this, especially from a man, don't keep pushing. Back off. Woosah. Everybody just calm. Just calm down. Just calm down. I think I see this happen all the time. Fellas, we make this face and, it keeps going and you keep trying to just kill your inhibitions. But good and they go well. Sooner or later, they keep pushing that thing. It's going to be, I mean, that's what usually happens. That's what usually happens, but I don't condone woman beating over here. I don't, please don't think that. But yeah, just back off. Since I'm on the fellas, some of you, not all of you, obviously, went and got your haircut this weekend, right? Could you please tell me how much you paid for your haircut? Your haircut and your beard. I'm not the person to ask. I haven't had a haircut by a professional since 2017 was the last time I actually went to a barbershop. I don't go to the barbershop. Only time I really see a barber is when we're about to do a recording or something like that, and then the barber may come. But for the most part, pause. Oh, Jesus, that's pause. Wait, I can't even find one. Jesus Christ, I can't find my pauses. Can't find my pauses in time. I'm usually pause. There we go. I got one. So anyway, fellas, tell me how much it costs right now to get your haircut. When I got my haircut the last time, I think it was 35 or 40, but I took 20. So regardless if it was 35 or 40, I always tip 20. So he made what, 55 or $60 off of me. Beard, he said beard 45, okay, 25. Now, it's been something happening. Barbers been really, really raising their prices. My wife, when she gets her haircut, is $60. And that's just for a regular, my wife doesn't really wear a really low fade unless I do it. But, most of the time she comes, it's like hearts. Like when we got married, she had heart and designs and everything in her head, pause. But she said it could be $80 if she gets designs or something like that. So it's starting to raise, right? Now that you've told me how much it costs you to actually get your haircut, $50, right? I see you, Greg. 35 up from 35. Yeah. So it's like it's going up. But what's the most you will pay for a haircut? Like not nothing special, just on a regular, walking in to get your haircut. What's the most you will pay? Now think about that. And I got a video to show you before I go to Preachers Gone Wild. It's gonna blow your mind.
What's the most money you paying for a haircut?
$30. Now, if it's a house call, probably 100. Nah, 150. I feel like the premium now with barbers, I feel like they be overkill. Ain't no way I'm getting a regular low taper, a regular fade, and the cut $50. What are we doing?
When I was in Miami, you paid, say, celebrity barber. I'm like, all right. I done seen a couple rappers or whatever he done cut. So yeah, man, you know, I'm like that. First of all, fam, if you really cutting hair, and everybody know this, man, if you really how you supposed to be with the clippers, man, you ain't pulling out no black spray. I see you go like this and the compressor wake up, I don't even need you to cut me, boss. After I get the cut, you ready to pull out the black spray. I said, oh, nah, boss, I don't use that. He said, I bet, man, you done. I said, man, I appreciate your time, so I'm going to tip you a little extra, man. How much it is? You know, it's just $300. In fact, I said, huh? It's just $300. I ain't gonna lie, fam. You got to get that in blood. But $300? And you was just finna pull out the black spray? If I end up talking them down to $150, my homeboy say, I don't need a cut no more.
So I think that's insane. To pay that much for a haircut, that's insane. Would you pay $120 for a haircut? Would you pay, fellas, would you pay that much for a haircut? That's my question. That's my question. Would you pay $125 for a haircut? I personally wouldn't do it. That's just me. $125 for a haircut? Is this what we doing for a haircut? $125 is way too much for a haircut. Ain't no way in the world. I would see, like I said, for a special occasion, you got a recording, you got a gig, you got something like, for example, if I'm going to the Stellar Super Bowl, Grammys, BET Awards, something where it's millions and millions and millions of people gonna watch, I'm definitely gonna do that. I will care, you know, hey, get me right. But my barber would probably only charge me $50, right? But $100. Now, I've seen today some of these prices getting up to $125 just for a regular taper. For a taper. Now, those of you get your haircut, you know what a taper is. Mine is not a taper. It's like a burst fade. But a taper for that. And then when you said pull out the enhancements, that's even more. I think they charge an upcharge for enhancements now. Now, I have two forms. I got the regular, you know, the whatever they got. And then I got the machine he was talking about. I have all of that here. But I started getting into that just to, you know, add to it because you want that lineup to be crispy. But 125, fellas, no. And so it's led to a decline in attendance to barbershops. Barbershops used to be historically a pillar of the community, especially for black men. It's where we would go to connect with black men. A lot of the stuff that I gained when I was doing relationship talk was coming from barbershops. I would literally go to barbershops, even though I wouldn't get my haircut, and ask men questions because I knew that's where we would hang out. If you take that element away, no wonder why we're not connecting as men. We don't talk to men. You see what I'm saying? The conversation we have about basketball, about relationship, football, sports, politics, everything that men used to connect to. If you charge $200 and $300, these men ain't gonna come because it used to be older men that used to sit there and just read their newspaper in the barbershop. If you live in LA, you actually found a dope barber. I'm spending that. You can't find a good barber nowhere in LA. That is horrible. That is horrible. Carice, that's horrible. Nowhere in the world. But see, that's one of the reasons why I learned how to do my own hair. I learned how to do my own hair when I was like a teenager. I learned how to do it then because the first cut I did was a chili bowl and it was bad. It was bad. I ain't even gonna hold you. But I learned over time how to do my own hair. I think self-maintenance is something we should learn. Like, if you can afford to get your haircut, go do it. But if you can't, you probably want to start learning how to do it. It's not very difficult at all. I mean, it's really just simple math. A half goes into 1, 1 goes into 1.5, 1.5 goes into 2, 2 goes into 2.5, and on and on and on and on. And if you want to use enhancements, get you some business cards, get you whatever, and just go for it and learn how to do it on your own. Now, the ladies get on us for the enhancement thing. They like to get on us and say, oh, y'all wearing all that paint on y'all head. But everything from your neck up is an enhancement. I mean, no offense, because I've been seeing them go into y'all fellas that been posting y'all pictures on your Valentine's Day. People like, oh, that's enhancements and that's this. Why y'all going on us with our enhancements and y'all got that war paint on? Don't do that. Because, our hairline may be painted on, but your eyelashes, your eyebrows, your cheeks, your lips, your hair, come on, man. Like, legit, for real. I love my wife because she can actually go out. Most of the time when y'all see my wife, she's natural hair, natural face. I'm not knocking you for wearing makeup. But if you're going to get on this here app or whatever app of your choice and try to rip men for using enhancements, then you better make sure that war paint on right. Because the thing is, the difference between you and us, we could probably go without the enhancements. Most of us, even with a bad hairline, we can still make that haircut look halfway decent. But without that war paint, no woman can look like us. But if I shave this up, I'll make an ugly woman. But another man, if he shave his stuff off, pause, and put makeup on as much as some of you do, we wouldn't know the difference. So until that starts to balance out, don't get on us about our enhancements. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't tell them to do what they sell because they're us barbers. Well, here's the thing, Jonathan. If you're not charging a crazy price, you will continue to work, and the dope barbers will continue to work. I go to Instagram and YouTube. I watch their videos all the time, and y'all killing the game. The fades be blurry. I learn a lot from y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got these scissors that my wife saw, and they look, y'all know, thinning shears. But when she looked at it, it looked weird to the mug because it's a comb on one side and it's a shear on the other side. Y'all got the game. We're not trying to take your job, but what we are telling you, you need to pay close attention to the market. Don't just start raising your prices, because when I say raise your price, I'm talking about going from 50 to like 100 and 125. Going from 50 to 60, you kind of pushing it, because you got to think about it. Most of your community ain't rolling like that. Prices went up for everybody. So you got to kind of find a balance, and you got to be really, really, and I hate to say it, but not really. You got to be prayerful, and you got to really talk to the people that's your market. Understand your market, because you're still serving the community. And I would rather cut 300 heads, pause, at 65 than to cut one head at 125. That's a no-go. Hey, don't y'all be up on this app acting all crazy now. I made a jokey about the war paint, but it is war paint. Man, y'all go to battle, because if I roll over and you look totally different in the morning, that might be a problem. Wear as little makeup as you can when you're going out with me. Cause I don't like war paint. Do. Cause I don't like war paint. Do. I just made up a song, but for real, I don't do that. I like natural face. And I don't care if you got a little blemishes. I mean, for crying out loud, as long as you're not coming out looking like a pizza, we good. Nobody has perfect skin. Your skin may have a little blemishes. That's okay. You know, I don't expect you to have 4-year-old skin. Not when it's time to get, like the ladies say, beat records, when we going out, whatever. No, but here's the crazy thing. My wife literally came out when we went out Saturday. Now the outfit was dope, but her hair was done. I know because I did it, but she was dope. Hardly any makeup on, just a little bit of lip gloss, and she still was having dudes disrespectful. So it don't matter. You can still be dope. You can still be dope without the war paint. You can still be dope. But anyway, Preachers Gone Wild, we are here. It's going to be interesting, Preachers Gone Wild, today, because I got a lot to say, which is why I'm going to rush through this thing for the first time. You ever going to see me rush through this thing? I really got to get to this, because I got something to say about the musicians I got something to say. And some of you might not like it, but some of you, if you have open ears, you're going to say, hey, he making kind of good sense tonight. Hopefully, I can be a blessing to you. But anyway, I keep telling y'all that the brothers and sisters over in the motherland, they've been going off. I mean, I could literally make a Preachers Gone Wild with just the Africa edition. Because when you start to see stuff like what I'm about to show you, you'll be like, bro, what in the world is happening tonight? Good Lord have mercy. I'll be wondering about the brothers and sisters over in the motherland sometimes, y'all. Because it's like, we know we all believers and everything else, but some of that stuff that they be doing, it be making me feel like they on some cultish kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, for what reason would you have to pull this woman by her weave or her hair? No, that's braids. Be pulling her by her weave. Why would you do that now? This is how I know this was Africa. Because the sisters in America, the sisters in America, they definitely wouldn't have let you just pull on their head like that. They don't. It's one thing they let you pull on their arm. They'll let you pull on their purse, baby. They'll even let you pull on their dresses and everything. Even if they got some situations, the B-52s, they still will let you pull on their chest and everything. I've seen it. Don't act like it don't happen. What up, Curtis? But pulling on their hair is where they draw the line, because the sisters pay big money for them bundles and they're not going to let you pull on their hair. They're not. And I don't care how much in the spirit. Now, we see some wild stuff on Preachers Gone Wild. We've seen it. But I don't think we would ever get this wild over here. The sisters won't play that. Now, I do got a video, y'all, that I need to find it. I got so many. But it was something that the sister let the preacher do. I gotta find that video. Hopefully, if I find it, I'll post it next week. But anyway, today's show will be featuring bad things happening as a lack of preparation. So the next couple of videos I'm going to show you is something that I feel could be prevented in rehearsals if you do your due diligence in rehearsal. Y'all can tell me if it's true or if it's not. Here's the first one. Now, so what happened here? First of all, I love choir directors, but y'all gotta wrap this up, y'all. Y'all gotta wrap this up. I remember playing for this choir a while ago. This was a few years ago. I was still in Wisconsin when this happened. But he just kept running the vamp. I'm like, dude, if you don't end this cotton picking song, this over. I mean, for crying out loud, even Jesus himself was like, bro, you good? He literally kept repeating this. For what reason? I was like, dude, and so he kept repeating. And I think choir directors kind of let it go. But they didn't know what was doing, and the other chick just got totally flabbergasted. She was just like, I'm over it. My question is, do you think you should work on these things in rehearsals? Like how many times you're going to do something, the repetitions, how many times you go into the vamp, how many times you're going to do something. Do you think these things could be worked in rehearsal, or do you think you let, quote unquote, the spirit do it? That's what I want to know. Because sometimes we could come up with stuff on the fly and people be like, man, that was the spirit. Now I want to know from you, my audience, is this something that could have been worked out in rehearsal? Yes or no? Could they have worked this out in rehearsal? I'm thinking they could have. But I'm about to play an oldie but goodie, and y'all gonna see why I said this.
Come on, clap them hands, church. Hey. That's what y'all practiced and came up with. That's what practice did for y'all. Y'all don't ever need to practice again if that's what it did for y'all. You can stand. Y'all practicing for sounding like that. I told y'all that's not gonna work in Jacksonville.
Now, some people would have got mad at him snapping at people like that. You know, some people would have been like, oh, you don't have to do that, Brian Carr. You don't have to really go at us like that. Now, me personally, I think it should have been done off camera. Take it off camera. But if they sounded like this in rehearsal, what do you do if they sound like this in rehearsal? If you're a choir director, I'm not one. I'm not over music ministry. I'm over the band. But if they are sounding a train wreck in rehearsal, because this is actually, if he said they rehearsed this and this is what they did, then it probably sounded just as bad in rehearsal. What do? Do you still do the song, or do you pick one and throw another one out there? I do like the fact that we have everything structured at ours. We know what we're going to do. We know what songs we're going to do. Now, we don't know what's going to happen in each song. Believe it or not, if you watch Powerhouse, we actually are creating this stuff on the fly. You know, it happens, you know, this is the way we are. But I like the fact that 8 a.m. stuff is already laid out. We go over this stuff in rehearsal. But what happens if rehearsal, this happens? You don't sound good. What do you do? What would y'all do in this situation? Would you just say, hey, let's go? We still going to sing the song, let God do it, which is what some of you do, we can tell. Or do you say, we're going to throw an audible, we're going to throw something else? We're going to throw something else. Because here's my thing. One thing I can tell you about church people, y'all can be real shady. Y'all can be real shady. And even when we think we practiced very well and got this thing locked down, we rehearsed and everything else, when we have less than stellar moments, some of the people you think are super cool with you can't wait to start posting you on social media and making fun of you. You see what happens? And this is from a major artist, right? What do you think they do to the normal artists? I tell you what, they make it to this show. They make it to this show. That's what usually happens when you're not prepared and you don't do what you're supposed to do. Now, there are no choirs. Believe it or not, I think we were spoiled because there are some great choirs, there's some great artists and everything else. And we think that everybody can sing like that, and they don't. But the problem is, we don't take rehearsing. We don't take rehearsing like we should. And let me share this video with y'all. And I want you to know that there is a difference between practice and rehearsal. There really is. And I'm going to play this video. We could talk about it on the other side. Let's see if it's the right one.
You do not have the ability to listen to a song for the first time on the way to rehearsal and know it well enough to sing it by the time you get there. You are not that skilled. And if that offended you, good, because this video is just for you. I'm here to step on toes today. We have got to stop telling ourselves that we have abilities and talents that we have never taken the time to actually cultivate. If your ear is not conditioned to be able to remember parts and subtle nuances, you're not going to learn that in that 10-minute drive to rehearsal. You're not going to remember it when you're in rehearsal. If your memory is not sharp enough to be able to remember format and lyrics, then why do you think that you have the ability all of a sudden before you leave for rehearsal? That doesn't make any sense. That is called delusion. Here's the thing. Nobody is that skilled. And even if you think you are, why would you operate that way? If you've been given the song in advance, if you had the time and opportunity to practice and prepare to be sure that you were locked in for rehearsal, why are you waiting to the last minute? And don't give an excuse about how you didn't have time. Because unless you got the song right before you stepped out your house to go to rehearsal, you had time. Now, I'm going to make a separate video about what it means to rehearse, how to rehearse, and all that good stuff to help your team, your choir, or maybe just you. But for right now, just practice your music. And when it comes to ministry, we also have to stop assuming that the Lord is just going to come in and do it. No, we have to prepare something for then him to come in and breathe on. You want God to bless you and love you and keep you and hold you up and sustain you, but also you want him to rehearse for you and listen to the music for you and learn the lyrics and the format and the notes for you. That doesn't make sense. And if I was God, wouldn't do it, because that is encouraging you to be lazy. That's why you still gonna mess up them lyrics on Sunday with the confidence monitor. That's why you're still gonna sing the wrong part and miss the inversion for the 20th time, because you did not prepare. You are learning just enough to get through rehearsal and not learning enough to remember and internalize the actual nature and structure of the song. Just practice. Just do that in the best way that you can. A wise woman once said, you got to hearse before you rehearse. And some of you haven't opened up the playlist and listened to the first second of the first song. And that is crazy. As always, it's good to see you. I love you. And I'll catch you on the next one. But no, seriously, go practice and study that music, because you've got rehearsal tonight and you haven't listened to anything. And it's you. You're the reason why rehearsal takes forever. You're the reason why we can't sing new songs, because you can't learn the ones we got.
So, you already had to say. I actually agree with him. And this is coming from somebody who actually can learn a song on the way to a rehearsal. And unfortunately, I'm going to tell him myself on the way to a gig. I did a gig one time and it was in Fort Wayne. And my wife was in the car and I was literally listening to a whole crazy mashup of songs before I even got to my car or whatever. I was like, okay, start listening to it. My wife looked at me and she's like, you remember all that stuff? And even now, she'd be like, you listen to stuff on the way to rehearsal. Well, I train my brain to do that. And that's not the way I normally would want to operate, but gospel music I know so much about it. I love it. But I know patterns, and Ferris Evans taught me how to recognize patterns. Every gospel song has an intro. Every gospel song has a verse, chorus, bridge, or a vamp. So you just got to know those things. So I usually listen to songs 3 times. Okay, first time I'm trying to listen to, see how difficult it is, right? Second time I listen to, I may, whatever. If the intro's crazy, I may rewind the intro. But then I learn patterns. My brain thinks differently when I'm learning songs. It's all about patterns. I learn the notes later, but I learn the patterns first, right? So I learn the patterns in the intro, the timing of the intro, and then I move on to the song. That's verse. That's verse 2. Verse 2, they did something crazy. They went here. They went here. Okay, got it. Vamp, whatever. And I'm learning the song like this. It's not a good practice. It's not. And most of the time, I don't do it that way. On rehearsal days, I normally take an hour or 2. I'm usually at my job, but sometimes we have a downtime. The children are asleep, and I've done what I needed to do for the day. So I take out the computer or whatever, and I listen and go over the song. But in my head, I don't need the bass all the time because I learn by pattern, so I'm listening to these patterns and I'm listening to the songs. And if it's a song that I know it's not gonna be that day, I chart it out. I'm almost always ready for rehearsal. There may be some songs I may need to touch up on, but that's what rehearsal is for, which brings me to this. The reason why I'm going here is because, is this the one? There's a rehearsal culture where people say, I don't want to come to rehearsal, especially in the church. We have musicians that think rehearsal is optional. I come to rehearsal when I feel like it. When I show up, hey, it is what it is. It's about me. I told y'all last week, it's a Luciferian mindset with some of our musicians. But we need to rehearse. I've heard musicians say it's a waste of time. And trust me, I understand you. But for me, it's another opportunity I have to mesh with you, pause, to get a good feel, pause, with the band. I'm gonna keep saying pause because we in me, some of y'all, y'all here. But I don't look at it as it's a waste of time. It's a time that we can get to rehearse the stuff together. And this is the mistake that a lot of us make. You haven't practiced. You haven't practiced. Because for a lot of y'all, you treat practice like this.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We're talking about practice.
We're talking about practice. Because practice is what you do at home. Everything is done in steps, right? Practice is you preparing for rehearsal. Rehearsal is you preparing for the performance or service. So it goes into steps. So if you haven't practiced, you're not ready for rehearsal. And if you're not ready for rehearsal, then you're not ready to perform or to minister. So my thing is this: if you don't want to do that, and this gig is or whatever is not important for you to practice and learn the songs, then why are you here? Then why are you here? Then you come with an attitude and you do make rehearsal longer because now we have to do something you should already know. No, rehearsal is not for you to learn the song. Rehearsal is for you to tighten what you already went over. That's what rehearsal is for. And that's why rehearsal becomes a waste of time for you because you don't know the songs. So we can't create. We can't flip anything. Those bands that y'all love so much, that y'all love to turn on Instagram and everything, the reason why they can do that is because they practice it. They didn't wake up one morning and just say, oh, let's do this. No, they practice it. Now, as you gel because you've rehearsed with each other enough, you get a vibe. It's crazy how Raekwon look at me and Razor because we literally play the same thing at the same time. Why? Because we have chemistry. And we can play this stuff because how long we played together in the band, and the whole band should move like this. And I'm going to let y'all in on the secret. Y'all know the crazy thing? Because this band, New G Band, we have such a chemistry, we hardly ever practice before gigs. We hardly ever practice. If I was to play Amazing for You the way we started it, and the way we actually play it, you'd be like, when did y'all rehearse this? We don't rehearse it. We have such a feeling that we know each other and we right there with it. In fact, when we did that one song on the Amazing album, we did a trip down memory lane, right? And we did Promise, and we went into whatever, and then we ended up in There's No Way and all that kind of stuff. Believe it or not, we rushed through that rehearsal. Why? Because that's what we already do. We knew that stuff like the back of our hands. But you better believe when we come to rehearsal, we know that stuff. We don't come in there and try to learn the songs like that. Nah, man. Nah. Come in there because that's what wastes time. If you got a band rehearsal that's for an hour or 2 hours, you spend all this time teaching you a song, that's mid. That's mid. And I want us to get out of that mindset of thinking that we should skip rehearsal, that rehearsal is optional. There is nothing that you should be doing on a day you're supposed to be rehearsing. If your rehearsal is on Monday night, you shouldn't be watching me. You should be in rehearsal, showing up, because that is part of the preparation. That is part of the job. And that's something that stuck with me from day one. And here's the thing about practice. I remember doing a recording for Ferris a while ago, and we showed up in there, and I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not really go over that stuff like I normally would. I moved to Wisconsin, and I took up some bad habits. Not prepared. I'm going to be honest with you. That was the one time I did that. That man came up in that rehearsal and sent all us home. He said, for what reason? You ain't prepared. And it was so embarrassing. I felt bad because that's not my standard. I actually rehearse. I practice. My wife would tell you I practice. I practiced yesterday when I got in from church. I practiced today, this morning, before I went to work. In fact, I'm going to practice again before I go to bed. Probably not. But still, that bass will see my hands. I got a whole line of basses behind me. One of them going to be grabbed before I walk out this room. Because I take practice seriously, because I want to be ready for rehearsal. I take every opportunity I play seriously, regardless of wherever it is. And I want us all to have that mindset. So show up for rehearsal. Do your best to show up for rehearsal. Come prepared. Because here's the thing that I don't understand. My church musicians, I love y'all. I'm in your corner. But why are you aspiring to play bigger gigs than you not preparing for in the local ones? You don't take this seriously. And contrary to popular belief, everybody can play. I'm about to play Robert Glasper. Everybody can play over here. But that's what's going to get you people looking at you maybe. But your reputation is going to be out there long before we hear a note. And some of you, not all of you, you've already canceled every opportunity that you may have, and you have nobody to blame but yourself. Your attitude, your unprofessionalism, that's going to sing louder than your notes. No matter how loud you turn up all the 4 faders or 5 faders of that keyboard that you play, or how many knobs you got on that preamp on the bass, or how hard you hit on the drums before they hear a note, your reputation is going to be out there before. Because contrary to popular belief, that's how you get gigs now. Majority of these gigs are given because somebody gave you an opportunity. And why in the world would I give you an opportunity when you show you can't even handle this? You showing up unprepared, showing up doing being a hindrance to everything, showing up not learning songs, showing up being drunk and high and everything else. I'm not knocking you for being drunk and high. I think it's unprofessional to do it in church. And that's going to ring out. That's going to ring out. And so this is not me criticizing you harshly. This is me pointing you in the direction where you want to go. Practice first. Come into the rehearsal knowing the song. I'm going to hold my bands to that standard. And they would tell you, some of them, and they think I'll be playing, especially my New G people. I always mess with them, but especially the church. Come in my rehearsal not knowing the songs. I'm going to send you home. And I know for some of y'all don't pay y'all musicians for a rehearsal. I think you need to pay them for rehearsal because that is their time, unless they agreed to do it in their contract. But if you are paid for rehearsal, you better have your aspiration up in there knowing that song, because I can send you home and not pay you. I can. I'm not with that, and I think none of us should. As leaders, don't even break your standard. They show up to that rehearsal unprepared and it's unacceptable, send them home. Or let them know you getting knocked. It's really that simple. But I saw a video by Robert Glasper, and I want to go to this real fast. I got 15 minutes, 17. And I want to go to this real fast because it's something that I don't like. I love my church musicians. I love y'all to death because I'm one of you. I never left the nest yet. I'm not going to leave the nest like that. But check out what Robert had to say.
To all my singers, all my musicians, especially rhythm section musicians. Y'all playing too motherfucking much. It's too much. I'm exhausted. When I go on IG, I'm exhausted. Just watching y'all motherfuckers. It's too much. Everybody's playing too much. They're too choppy. Singers is running too much. Y'all don't even got no original sound. You're just singing, just running. Everybody's running. Everybody's chopping. Listen, everybody has chops. Let's just put that out there. Everybody's fast. What else do you have? What else you got? 'Cause everybody's fast. Who cares at this point? No one gets hired because they're the fastest. You know what I mean? Like, what else you got? You need to have more diversity in your plan. You need to make people feel good. I want to watch something like, yo, that feels great. You know what I mean? Oh, she sings. Oh, that singing's great. You're a great singer when you can sing some shit and not have to run and make somebody feel something. That's when you're a great singer. You know, all this choppiness and stuff, it's like a martial art. Have it in the holster. So when you need it, you use it. But it's not for everything. You got to have more choices. The best, that's what separates the greatest from the not. You know what I mean? It's like choices. Choices is everything, y'all. Please.
Okay, so you heard what Robert had to say. I love Robert Glasper. I actually got a picture with him that I never posted. My wife does too. I'm a fan of Robert Glasper. I don't, it is what it is. So I'm certainly never going to be disrespectful to somebody I respect, on outside of my own world. He's like light years there. I saw Brandy's performance on the All-Star game. And a lot of people had things to say about it. Me personally, I had my thoughts, but most people were saying it was great. Then some of you said it was too much or whatever. And then some people were saying she did too much. It was way crazy. I thought it was, I loved it, but I didn't love it, if that makes sense. It didn't? Okay, let me make sure you understand. I love the creativity, but I just think sometimes we do too much. The average time for Star Spangled Banner, even for the Super Bowl, was less than a minute and a half. That performance for Brandy was over 2 minutes, 2:20 to be precise. And I'm like, whoa, because there was a lot going on. The blend was there, the performance was there, and everything else. But see, when she got done, it wasn't a roar like you normally would hear. You would hear after a performance of the Star Spangled Banner, because most of the people that were sitting there was like, what the is going on out here? I mean, because they didn't know what was happening. Now, their mind may have been blown, their head may have been fried, or whatever. But me personally, I thought it was great, but I thought, yeah, kiss it, keep it simple. Keep it simple, sincerely. Not to call her stupid. She ain't no goofy. And so when I saw it, and when I saw this, and then I turned around and saw this Robert Glasper thing, I was like, okay, go to the comment section. And I didn't see this on Robert Glasper page, but I did see it on the page where it was first posted. The first people they wanted to go at was gospel musicians. And here we go, playing Pocket Pays the Bills and everything else. And I just got so enraged because I'm so god doggone tired of y'all thinking that gospel musicians are all goofies. They're not goofies. For one, you only got to be the stupid kind of goofy to get on a major gig and rip up everywhere and then get fired because you ripping up everywhere. We don't do that on major gigs. We don't. I would be considering myself, I'm very aggressive. And so, the crazy thing is, you don't know I'm aggressive until you hear me on TV or at church, or if I'm going live or something like that, because every record I play, I'm locking it in with Brent. I'm locking it in with the band because I know how to play where I'm supposed to be and making sure it quote unquote feels good. Most of us, we do that. You can't name me 5 church musicians that's gone out here and played R&B and come back and said they got fired because they did too much. I don't see it. So whereas I agree with what he said, I don't agree with y'all coming over here and saying we the ones that's doing it. We ain't. I don't know none of them. Every single one of them have gone out here and been successful. And all of them could rip. So stop saying church musicians the ones that's doing it. No, we not. We go out and we usually do better than some of y'all been doing it your whole lives. When I look up and I see the Grammys, most of those people I know. They went to some of them I played in church bands with. They grew up in church. And they've shown you time and time again that they can go out here and play pocket. They're going to do whatever is needs to be done. What gets church musicians the bad rep is the unprofessionalism. But it's not the pocket. It's not none of that stuff. They're not out here ripping and running and rippy-runny all over the place. That's not. Now, their behavior, their attitudes, the unprofessionalism, oh, absolutely. That'll get you fired from any gig. So, yeah, we just a little laxed over here in the church world. We let you do that stuff. But they don't let you do that in the world. You go out there with that unprofessional stuff, you're going to get lit up. But y'all keep bringing that negative energy over here like gospel musicians. Only thing we know how to do is rip and rip and rip up. And I saw another video and I was like, this is crazy when I saw this video because I want to know if this is what people really think. Now, I like this dude. I watch his content all the time. But it was the comments of it. Watch this video.
Let's go.
So I saw this video and I was like, do people really think that for $150 that this is ripping, running everywhere? I get what he's saying. He's saying for $150, they have you do all that crazy learning and stuff like that, right? But then when you put $500, they have you doing that songs, like easy songs. In my experience, now this may be different from you, that's not true. I mean, you may get that $500 gig like that, but they come how often? I mean, we all play church. And we don't get 150 because, they actually do it and they try to be cheap. A lot of we don't really make a lot of money over here. I keep telling y'all that. That's probably one of the reasons, and we don't set our standards high. We'll go out and play that $150. They'll stop paying it if we stop saying we not gonna do it. As long as we keep doing them, the $150, $100 gigs will still go. Derek ain't going doing no $150 gigs unless I call you brother. And even then. But if I can't call you brother, ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to do no $150 gig. And trust me, my wife will tell you, I'm going to throw that song in and be like, you done lost your mind. Ain't nowhere in the world. I'm for to learn. But see, even with me, because how I learned, that wasn't even that difficult to me. That wasn't. I could have learned that in like 2 minutes. But for some of you, it probably take longer. Everybody's different. No knock to you. But I think that they think we just out here just rip me running. So why is it that when you get on Instagram and you see that and somebody says, oh, y'all do it on Instagram? First of all, everybody can't chop. Everybody can't chop. I said everybody can play, but everybody can't chop. I done heard some bass players, I done heard some drummers, they ain't chopping like that. They copying. That's what they're doing. They're not chopping. They're copying. They literally heard somebody do this lick and beat for beat, note for note, however you want to call it, they took it and they did it. To me, that's not chops. Chops are something you own. You came up with. You can do it on a whim. You ain't got to study nobody to do it. So no, everybody ain't got chops. They don't, in my opinion. But the ones that are posting is usually the same ones. And the reason why they post chops like that on Instagram, because they know if they get on here and play a straight groove, they're not going to get much traction because they get most traction when they are wowing. Last I checked, most of the musicians, especially me, I'm not flaunting 42 double Ds. And I'm not playing bass like this, and I ain't got my legs open and stuff like that so everybody can see my videos. I literally see this video of this chick playing 5 seconds, 2 notes, and get 100 and something thousand likes on her video. And she can't play. She can't play bass. That ain't what she does well. I'm sorry, that ain't no hate. That's a professional criticism. You can't play bass. But what you are, you're pretty, you're showing skin, and you're entertaining. So that's how you getting that up. But the last time I checked, we don't get to do that. I'm talking about fellas. We don't get to do that. We have to let the Jesus in us breathe. He has to come out our chest like this and say, oh, praise me, my sons. And before y'all even give us a like. Y'all not interested in us playing pocket. Some of the best pocket players I know in the city of Chicago don't never make it to somebody's list of top 5. So don't give me that pocket pays the bill. Then why are you not hiring these pocket bass players? You're not hiring the pocket drummers. You're hiring the flashy ones. You're hiring the ones that's got the most Instagram likes and the most Instagram followers. You're not hiring the ones that play pocket no matter what we tell you. That dude got a nice pocket. Yeah, but I don't know, man. We want him to be aggressive. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. So when you come and telling us that we do too many chops and everything on Instagram, I'm thinking that's what it's for. That's just me. That's just me. If I post a cover of me playing a song straight, will I get some traction? Maybe. But if I get on here and start pulling out my bass and start doing some wild, crazy stuff, y'all want me to... That's what y'all want. That's what you want. Y'all want to see that. And I'm okay giving that to you, boss. I'm okay, but I'm smart enough to know if I want to be monetized, I got to give the people what they want to see. When I get the gig, I'm going to give you straight until you say, no, D, I want you aggressive. Then I'm going to give you aggressive. Stop putting that on church musicians. That ain't on us. That ain't on us. That ain't on church musicians, and that whole little pocket thing I'm getting tired of. I've been playing bass for almost 35 years, and I don't know what pocket is. I don't know what it means. I say it, but I don't. I think I do, but I don't. I think I do, but I don't, because somebody be like, get in the pocket, and I play, no, man, open up. Which one is it? You confusing me. I'll be like, dude, you something wrong with you. You keep telling me to open up, and when I open up, you're like, get in the pocket. Which one is it? That's pause. And when you ask somebody, what do you mean by pocket? You don't hear. Nobody saying nothing. No, we think it means simple, but no, it don't mean simple. Then what does it mean? For me, pocket mean you can lock with a drummer. You gonna stay in that thing and you gonna make it happen. It's gonna sound good. It's gonna be heavy, whatever. That drummer going to do. You write him. That's pocket to me. That's pocket. But somebody that does that very well, you don't want to hire him. You don't want to hire him. You want all that. You want all of that. 35, at least. I might have over-exaggerated, but it's somewhere. It's high. I've been playing for a long time. I've been playing for a long time, playing bass. With a 4-string with strings so high that, man, that bass tore my fingers up, but I learned it. So why do you think, and that's where I'm about to go, but why do you think church musicians get this knock that we are the busy ones, that we overplay? Do we tend to overplay? Some of us do. I'm not going to hold you. Some of us do. But the ones that go out here and play R&B, they ain't out here ripping. And I know quite a few of them that could. My friend Furby can go on keys, on bass, and on drums. But every time I see him, like on the Grammys, he was locked in. That man playing Grammys, and probably one of the most aggressive musicians I know. He does pretty much all the color on every record that I produce. But that man literally has proven time and time again. When I saw him, he played for Lucky Day when he came out here. Dude, just solid. He played drums on that and was solid. So don't act like church musicians can't do that. Y'all don't do that. We got discipline, most of us, when we want to. When we want to. You said establishment of the song's feel. I agree. I can go with that. I'm trying to think of songs that I actually, man, most of them. When I did Rooftop, that's pocket. I still wigged out on some of it, but it was still pocket. Most of the time, and I ain't gonna hold y'all, I'm gonna be honest, and then I'm gonna jump off of here. I know the wife gonna peep her head in a second. Pause. But y'all, it's a story behind that, and I'm just gonna say this real fast. When I recorded Rooftop, the ADHD in me kicked in so hard on that song. I really, really wanted to rip that song to shreds. I really did. I'm not gonna lie. It's difficult for me sometimes to play that pattern like I did. But when that song took off and everybody, bass player was like, that's so funky, I understood it even more. Even at a seasoned age, I understood even more why I'm glad I didn't wig out. Because had I wigged out, it would have taken away from probably one of the greatest songs that we probably ever recorded. So, there you go. But ADHD does take over. But I stayed disciplined. I fought my inhibitions to rip, but I did do that. So if I could do it, y'all can do it, other musicians. But honestly, don't let these people tear you down. Do we have a lot of work to do in our musician community in church? Abso-freaking-lutely. Do we drop the ball some ways? Absolutely. But I'm not going to let y'all just put stuff on us that doesn't exist. We ain't like that, y'all. Y'all, no. No. So I'm reading some of your comments before she peep in. But I just wanted to cover that real fast, y'all, because it gets kind of frustrating. It get kind of frustrating because it seemed like everybody want to take shots at the church and church musicians for no reason. Like we don't bother y'all. We don't bother y'all. Well, my wife would say, yes, y'all do. You stitch that pocket. Thank you. It was difficult. I ain't gonna hold you, bruh. There was a few times I wanted to go out there. I wanted to go to left field. And Mike was just like, Mike used to give me that face, like, yeah, just laying there. Pause. Oh, Jesus, that was super pause. Like, I ain't even got one up. I think I gotta do one, y'all. I'm sorry. I gotta do a pause thing.
Pause.
There we go. There we got one. I feel like church is either going to get all of my power or I'm going to chill. Pocket is placement. Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember being told that pocket is whatever the producer tell you it is. Like if you cutting the record, producer tell you what the pocket is. You follow him. And don't let these people at home tell you what pocket is. It's a reason why you recording there at home. For whatever reason that is, you got the call. So you do what that producer says. Yeah, Rooftop is dope. It is. You made up for Rooftop in that James Hall sound off. Man, hey, that was, yeah, I did kind of wig out on that one, but I stayed there. It was fun. And you know what? Honestly, Brent makes it difficult sometimes because Brent adds something. Because amazing, way we do amazing, is same thing with Brent. He'll do something and it just changes and we like, oh, this where we at? Okay, let's go here. But I'm trying on records, I try to keep that focus. And I think that's important. I don't like what I hear sometimes with us as gospel musicians on records. I think we do too much sometimes in our records. I think you shouldn't have an intro that's at a 40 million and the song in total is at a 5. Why are you doing syncopated triplets and suspended chords and augmented fourths and everything else on the song that's saying Amazing Grace? Why are we doing that? I mean, think about the context of the song and what it's calling for, and then produce something that people can understand. Be you, but be something that people can understand. Don't be a brandy. It's not a good look when your performance is over and people looking like, what the hell just happened? No, do it where you build to that point. And then in the end, people can understand because in the end, we are telling the story. And so if you telling the story, nobody can understand your story, then why are you telling it? So I think we should keep that in mind when we're performing, but most importantly, when we are recording. I'm loving the fact that everybody I saw on gospel artists that I saw on Tiny Desk, they got the memo. You know, they're trying to present something that's clean and solid so people can follow and bob their head to. Because Ty Tribbett, we all know they can go out there and even their performance was something that you can understand. And they can go, but they kept it where people can understand. I think when we do that, we can bring more people in. But then when you see Ty Tribbett live, it's on something else. Let me see what you're saying. You could tell how much of the build in the song was done away from the vocals. Oh yeah, absolutely. And those rehearsals were crazy. I enjoyed doing those rehearsals. They were crazy. They were fun. But yeah, I'm gonna take a couple more, then I'm gonna jump off of here. I didn't want this to be a long show. It's what you said earlier. People are copying, show and tell, not chopping. And yeah, honestly, that's what you're seeing. And I want to hear more of you. The dopest bass players right now, and I'm not gonna name them, but y'all know who they are. You can't get on Instagram without seeing them. They posting videos. Okay, they have their sound. They have their approach. They have their sound. I don't want to see a whole lot of bass players doing that. Because if you're doing that and they're doing that, why do we need to hire you? We can just get them. I want to hear you. I want to hear your sound. Now you can incorporate something they doing in your sound. That's okay because that's been done throughout history. But when you're doing everything that they're doing, and when I get on Instagram and you doing chops, and it's the same thing that they doing, especially with drummers, that's not a good thing. So you really don't have chops. You're just good at copying. And some of y'all good at not copying. I gotta come back to transposing, but just not today. And next week I'm gonna cover something else about musicians and what another thing I'm seeing happen in the community. And I don't want people get the bad representation of that. My goal this year with my show, even though I'm doing Preachers Gone Wild, is to educate musicians, to help you get to where you're trying to go, and do the best I can to give you the nuggets that you need to sustain a gig, not making money. I'm not for to get in your pockets. That's why you hire a financial advisor. I'm not for to do that. I'm not online. Maybe offline if you want to share, something that you got, whatever. But I really, really want to share these things with you so you can become better musicians, better servants in church. I'm gonna cover the minstrel thing next week and the Levite thing next week. That's another thing I'm gonna cover. Oh man, I love this dude, but I'm sorry, I got to go there. Let me read one more. It reminds me that I need to hire the person that you copying. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. But I love you guys. I'm about to jump off of here. What is this? Oh, that's dope. You can actually, I learned something new. Wow. That's dope. Anyway, we'll incorporate that next week. I love you guys. I'm jumping off of here and I'm about to watch a movie. Hey, y'all need to check out this movie I'm about to watch, Memory of a Killer. If you like suspense movies, and series, get into that because I'm about to watch that right now. But I love y'all. See y'all next Monday. No, I'm not going to talk about that record next week. Absolutely not. It is not happening. Nope.